Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Josh here. Today we're going to be talking about buying your first real estate investment. It's going to give you a beginner step-by-step list on what you can do to buy your first real estate deal. We're going to be talking mostly about income properties, but we can also talk about the fix and flip side of things and which would be best for you. Let's go ahead and get into it. Real estate is a great experience for a lot of people, and it has given them the financial freedom that they look for, or early retirement, or it gives them just a chance to supplement their income or their retirement. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to keep it simple, short. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so real estate is a great avenue, great vehicle for people who are looking to supplement their income. They can either do it part-time or full-time. They can retire early. I've seen a lot of people really grow into becoming really great investors when they started off being beginners. So everybody started off being a beginner to start with. I just want to say that. Even the investors that I've talked to they've been investors for 30 years. They started off as beginners and they had to learn their lessons the hard way and just go out there. Real estate is a hands-on type of investment, so that's something that's really important. So let's go ahead and get into the first thing that you need to understand and decide and get into your real estate deal. All right, so like I said, real estate is a hands-on type of investment. So the first thing that you need to understand is yourself as an investor. Are you a hands-on type investor that's handy, that has some contracting background, or do you have some friends who have some background and that can help you out? If you're gonna have to hire everything out for simple things, you're gonna have a bit of a problem. So really educate yourself and get in there, make sure that you're there at the job site if you're doing any kind of upgrades or fixing. So that's the first thing you need to ask yourself. Are you going to be hands-on, or are you going to be hands-off? Now you can be hands-off, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to swing hammers, but usually when you're starting off as a beginner, you're starting off usually with something that needs a little bit of updating, a little bit of fixing, and so you're probably going to be the best one to do that. If you want to save some money and really have a profit, that's the best thing to do. So first thing you do, think about, am I willing to get in there, get my hands dirty, or am I so busy with my family or with my job or whatever it is that you want to do, traveling, I don't have time for this, right? So that's the first thing you need to understand. Are you able to actually get in there and get dirty? All right, so step number 2, do you already own a home? Okay, so if you already own a home and you're living there, maybe yourself or with your family, then you need to know, okay, am I buying this as a pure investment property? If that's the case, that's certainly fine. But oftentimes people will buy an investment property like a duplex or triplex, and they'll actually live in one of the units. So you need to figure that out. Obviously that's a pretty simple thing to answer, but the strategy is going to be a little bit different based on whether or not you're going to live at your investment property and whether it's going to be a separate pure investment property. So the main difference with that is your ability to get a loan and what kind of a down payment you put down and what kind of a rate you're going to get. Generally, and I don't like to get too much into the financing side of things, I've got some great lenders that you can talk to, some great bankers and financiers, but I just know generally speaking you're going to get a better rate when you are actually living there as an owner-occupied investment piece of real estate. If you do not live there, your rate's probably going to be a little bit higher, and you're also going to have a higher down payment. So keep that in mind. So going back to the first thing that I talked about, hands-on, getting your hands dirty, and whether or not that's something that you want to do, just understand that that's probably what you're going to have to do, and you're really going to have to give yourself some time to do that. So again, asking yourself, do you have the time to go in there and fix up the property, put in some new paint, maybe fix some plumbing issues, landscaping? Do you have the ability to interact with the tenants and actually work through the leases with them? If not, you're going to have to hire a property manager, you're going to have contractors, you're going to have gardeners, you're going to have people taking care of and maintaining the property, which is perfectly fine. If you have a well-paying job that you're really happy in and you're just getting started in real estate and you don't want to do it full-time, then you could go ahead and work that job and then use that money you earn from that and use your income to pay for everything else. But just keep that in mind. That's really something I think is important for beginner real estate investors to wrap their heads around, whether or not they're going to get something that they're willing to actually go in there and spend the time. Like I said, I'll say it again, real estate is a hands-on type of investment. Okay, so it will come as no surprise that you cannot trade seashells or leaves for a piece of real estate. So you're gonna have money. And where are you gonna get the money? Well, you're gonna contribute part of it with your down payment. Obviously, this isn't rocket science. Generally, you're going to need 20 to 30% if it is an investment commercial property, which actually is a great segue into what's the difference between a commercial real estate property and a residential type loan that you would need for a real estate investment. So between 1 unit and 4 units, you're going to use a residential loan. So just your any lender that you work with, they're going to be able to lend on that for the most part. And then if it's 5 units or above, you're going to need a commercial loan. So I would definitely build a relationship with a local bank that can do that kind of a loan and either make a deposit there and continue making deposits, get to know the people there. That is going to be a very important thing. Relationships in the banking industry is going to be one of your best assets for you. So where are you getting the money? Well, you need to figure out where you are going to be qualified. So you need to go in, first things first, go into a bank and figure out what you can be qualified for and talk to them about what your goals are. If they can give you the money that you need, they're going to give you an idea of what you need for a down payment, what you can afford. Then now you can go shopping. So part 2, let's go into it. Finding the good deal, making that offer, and understanding the long-term process of real estate investing and what makes it one of the best investments in the world. So if you're going to go ahead and go into real estate, buying more units is going to be a better way to go. A few things: you are going to reduce your vacancy issues. So let's say you have a single family home that you are renting out. Well, if it goes vacant, you have 100% vacancy during that time period. But let's say you have a 4-unit or 4-plex and one of the tenants goes and finds something else to rent. Well, you only need to find one person to replace that other tenant, and you're still collecting rent on the other 3 units. However, something else that you need to consider is that the type of real estate investment between a single family residence and a multifamily residence is completely different. In this video, we're going to be focusing on multifamily investments. I'll get into more of that fix and flip type style of investing in another video, but this one we're just going to be talking about rental real estate and income properties. Alright, so let's say you already own your home and you've got a good job and you went in and got pre-qualified, and you are pre-qualified up to a $500,000 loan and you've got enough for a 20% down payment. Well, great, good for you. We can go ahead and go shopping. So how do you find the real estate deals? Well, obviously you can go on LoopNet, you can go on the MLS, on Zillow or Redfin. You can also talk to your local real estate agent. If you're here in the Central Coast or anywhere here in California, actually, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you out with that. So what do you do to find something that's off market? Maybe there just aren't that many options. Well, there are ways that you can reach out directly to owners, or myself, I can reach out to owners directly. But what I say is that really any deal is going to be a good deal for the right price. So even if something's been on the market for a while, making that offer is really important. I encourage people to do that, and then do your due diligence and come to an agreement on what makes sense. Okay, so you're gonna have to take some time to look for the right property. One thing that I would really encourage beginners to not do is have analysis by paralysis or paralysis by analysis, something like that. Basically where you don't make any kind of a move, or you don't actually make an offer. Too many people that I've interacted with, they spend a lot of time watching videos, they spend a lot of time writing down the numbers and analyzing properties. Well, you need to just get out there and start walking properties, start walking neighborhoods, and take a look at what what's out there. Look at duplexes, figure out what the streets are. Real estate is a physical investment, so it's not all about numbers. The numbers are important, but you actually need to get out there and figure out what's a good area, why would people want to rent here, and what can I do to upgrade it and update it. So once you find a real estate investment that makes sense for you and you're actually out there ready to submit that offer, well, actually the offer submitting process is fairly easy. Any kind of realtor or broker is going to be able to help you out with that. And keep in mind some of the key details like timelines and time frames, and making sure you adhere to that and you make sure that you do all of your due diligence and get those estoppels. That's going to be really important. But once you actually have purchased the real estate, right, that's a fairly easy part. It's about maintaining it and then growing it. So my suggestion to people just starting out, beginner, you're most likely going to be able to buy a duplex or a fourplex. It's just the reality of the situation. Here in California, real estate is a bit pricey, so you're going to have to start off somewhere. So duplex, triplex, fourplex is generally where people start. You're probably not going to get something that's top of the line. You're probably going to get something that needs a little bit of fix up. So the thing that I would start doing is immediately start adding value. And now it's a common term to be used in real estate parlance, and that just means make it nicer, make it more appealing to the renter. So what does this do? Well, there's some very, very inexpensive ways to do that. One of them is very simple: paint. I really suggest getting new paint on your property if it needs that. Landscaping is also another great way to add some dimension and add some interest. Also consider some other amenities like adding washer and dryer to the area and then charging for that, and that's fairly simple to do. But a washer and dryer with a coin operated commercial washer dryer, that can actually make you quite a few $100 extra a month, and you'll be surprised that can actually be a very valuable and important improvement to your piece of real estate. So those are some of the few things that you can do as a beginner. I'll just go ahead and recap real quick. You need to figure out who you are as an investor, understanding that real estate is a hands-on, get your hands dirty kind of investment. You need to get financed. You need to figure out what you can afford, and then you just need to get out there and start making offers. Remember, once you are in escrow, that's when you can do your due diligence, look at those leases, and get bids from your contractors. But I just really encourage you, if you're a beginner, don't spend your whole life watching videos like this. Actually get out there and start looking at properties. That's what my suggestion would be. And also connect up with somebody as a bonus tip, connect up with somebody who's done it. And it's fairly simple to do. I can help you out with that. If you're here in the area, I've got some great investors who are happy to share some of their information, what they've learned in their experience. So those are some fairly simple things. Real estate investing is not that complicated. And if you have the right mentor and the right real estate agent, and you've saved up some money and can afford to make an investment, it's one of the best vehicles to reaching financial freedom. And I really encourage you, as you're out there looking, think big picture. What is it that's driving you to do this? Maybe it's something to pass on down to your children. Maybe it's an ability for you to retire early. Really have that in your mind, and then just enjoy the process, lean into the process, because that's really what is fun about it. You really got to enjoy it. So there you go. If you have questions, reach out to me. Please like and subscribe this video. I am really appreciating your support here. Leave a comment down below, and we'll talk to you later. Bye now.